Hi, it's Bill, and today we are going to take a look at three different bridge hammocks. The Ridgerunner by Warbonnet, the Helsdon hammock, and the ENO Skylite. Now the ENO is kind of out of place in this lineup, but it's newer to me than the other ones, so I'm just going to throw it in for those that might want a lighter, less expensive option. Both the Ridgerunner and the Helsdon are double layer hammocks, and you can slide a sleep pad in between the layers for comfort and insulation. The Ridgerunner is also available in a single layer version. The Helsdon is more along the lines of a tent and hammock system. When you buy it, it comes with the mosquito netting and the outer layers of waterproof material. On the Ridgerunner, the mosquito netting is an option, and you have to buy either the spindrift sock or a rainfly, or both separately for weatherproofing. The spindrift is made of a water-resistant material, not waterproof, so for serious bad weather camping you'll need a rainfly with it. And in order to get as close to an apples-to-apples comparison between these two hammocks, I have done just that. To be honest, you'll probably need a rainfly with the Helsdon also. The way the two layers of the tenting works leaves you susceptible to getting wet when entering and exiting the hammock, as well as any of your gear left underneath. Let's check out the weights on these. My luggage scale is anything but precise, so consider these approximations. The Helsdon alone weighs in at about 6.5 pounds, very close to what their website claims. Add in the weight of whichever rainfly you choose to use with it. That's a big package and is probably too heavy for most backpackers, but for car camping, hiking short distances, or winter, when you are hauling your kit in a sled, the weight won't matter much. The double layer Ridgerunner with mosquito net and spindrift sock weighs in at around 3 pounds, but mine, with added suspension, carabiners, rainfly, and accoutrements, comes in at a little over 5 pounds. I have everything split up into 3 bundles, which makes it easier to distribute inside a pack. It's also easier to forget something at home. Now we'll just take a quick look at the ENO. The single layer hammock with integral bug net and optional straps comes in at around 2.2 pounds. Not bad at all for good weather overnighting. Add a little extra weight for your rainfly or other weather gear if you decide this is the one for you. Of course, all of these hammocks will require sleep pads, underquilts, top quilts, or sleeping bags, depending upon your needs. These will add to the weight. Compare that to what your tent weighs though. The hammocks might come in a little bit heavier, maybe even a lot heavier, but what is a good night's sleep worth? And don't forget, you can hammock in locations impractical for ground sleeping. I mentioned underquilts. Attaching an underquilt to the Ridgerunner is not difficult, and you can probably make one work with the Helsdon, but it looks like it might be more involved to do so. I think I will have to use an underquilt with the ENO though. Now, according to the Helsdon website, the suspension alone weighs a full 1.5 pounds, but it's real heavy duty, and setting up and adjusting it is fast and easy with the cam buckle arrangement. There are multiple suspensions available for the Ridgerunner. I chose the cinch buckle setup, which works in a similar manner to the Helsdon suspension. The ENO has these optional Ilios straps with whoopee slings. I've never used them before, but they did hold me off the ground, and I didn't have much trouble with them once I figured out how they work. As far as comfort goes, both the Ridgerunner and the Helsdon score high marks with me. The Ridgerunner has a slight advantage in that the fabric under my head forms a sort of natural pillow, which the Helsdon lacks. Not a big deal at all. I found lying on my side not too difficult in either one. I just need a pillow. Also, the crossbars in the Helsdon are literally in the Helsdon, meaning that I have to move down a little in it to keep from banging my head, but there's plenty of room at the foot end. The Helsdon has a lot of internal storage space on either end, and you can use the bug net slung beneath the hammock for light items. The Ridgerunner also has smaller storage pockets at either end and larger ones along the sides. Both hammocks have weight-bearing seams that are quite rigid and can be slightly uncomfortable if you lay your arms on them wrong. Interestingly, the ENO side seams are higher up, so I didn't have this problem, although the seams underneath me were a bit odd feeling, especially when I put the sleep pad in. Thus, my comment about needing an underquilt. For those that are wondering if the spindrift sock will fit over the ENO, the answer is maybe, but I'm not going to try it. The suspension lines on the ENO are continuous pieces of cordage, I'd have to cut them in order to put them through the holes in the spindrift where the suspension lines for the Ridgerunner pass through. And while I'm talking about the ENO, I'll mention that one of the criticisms of the ENO bug net is that with weight in the hammock, it's hard to zip the netting closed. And I found this to be the case as well. I think I might just leave it partly open and sew additional mesh material on to cover the gap. The weight ratings are a maximum of 400 pounds for the Helsdon and 250 pounds for the Ridgerunner, although they say that is for comfort purposes, not the strength of the materials. The ENO is also rated at a maximum of 250 pounds, and being as it is a single layer and lighter construction, I would take that seriously. As I lose weight, maybe it will also become more comfortable. In conclusion, I think the Ridgerunner is going to become my main backpacking hammock. The Helsdon I'm going to save for high prestige events like car camping or weekends up north at the cabin, when I want to impress people with my exotic camping style, and of course the wintertime. The ENO is still better than lying on the ground, but it's likely going to be lent out, brought along in case I get a chance to hang, or used as an emergency backup. Mr. President, getting in this hammock is the only option we have left. As I garner more experience with these hammocks, I will keep you posted. So that's it, everyone. Thanks for watching.